With a sweet buggy from the 1800s, but no horse to pull it, I'm left with only one option, engine swap. And oh man, did this buggy need it. This video is sponsored by Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Pretty excited about this build. So we've got my KTM 450, really powerful. This is my 450. This bike is awesome, it rips, has a lot of power. So we're taking the heart out of this bike and we're putting in the buggy. First step, bike tear down. We've got the heart of the buggy right here. It's so small. It's so light. Taking this motor out was the easy part. This is where it gets interesting. Boom. Motor's gonna go something like that. Time to build a frame so we can mount this puppy. Step 2, cut out lots of metal. The buggy frame will be 1 3/4 tube, so I have to notch the ends so they all fit together like a puzzle. And just like that, it's time to weld everything together. Instead of mounting the engine in the center of the frame, I decided to mount the engine on the far side. That way, we're able to leave the buggy intact as much as possible. The main frame is coming along. Now I need to build a mount that goes from here and makes a U to right here so I can bolt in the engine. With the engine cradle complete, it's time to cut out the axle mounts. And just like everything else, weld those into place. Time to drill some holes to secure the axle. This will make sense later. The main frame is complete. Let me show you guys how it works. So this beast, it's gonna sit right about there. I'm gonna weld mounts so we can bolt it in. That should be pretty easy. Here's the part that is sketchy. This is where the axle is gonna be, but I don't have an axle long enough. So I'm gonna take 2 axles and weld them together. I know this is a bad idea for many reasons, but we're gonna do it anyways. We're just working with what we got. Let me show you how I'm gonna weld it together with basic tooling. So these are for the bearings. Also, none of this is new parts. It's all used Facebook parts I found for dirt cheap. Actually, not really dirt cheap. I paid $300 for all these parts. I think I might have overpaid.
He was a nice guy.
He was a nice guy. The axles slide into the bearings. Picked up this piece of pipe that fits perfectly on the inside. I'm gonna run it through both of them. Ta-da! And now I just need to weld around that. If you have a better idea, drop it in the comments. There's a good chance this is gonna break at some point and I'll have to make a new one. If there's a better idea in the comments, I could utilize that to make something the right way. Let's see how we did. Pretty sweet. It seems to roll nicely. Now I need to file this down nice and flat so we can get a bearing over it. All right guys, I'm pretty proud about how this turned out. If
you want wobbly axles, we got the shop for you.
Come by if you want to be less stranded. We're getting pretty close to the first start. So we're gonna find out if this thing is gonna work or if it's not gonna work. This was pretty sketchy, but we're about to do something significantly more sketchy. Okay. This sprocket goes right about here, but it's the wrong pitch. Our donor 450 engine, it has a 520 pitch. This is the chain for it that we're gonna be using. The chain just does not fit onto the sprocket. But we've got a solution here at Matt's Axle and Performance. I've got a 520 sprocket, doesn't bolt up, but we're gonna make it bolt up. So Brady, tell them what we got going on here.
Okay, so one option and one option only. We're going to drill holes in this sprocket and somehow line it up, bolt it together, and pray to God that it holds.
I think it's gonna hold, Brady.
We'll find out.
Look at the Busa we built.
We didn't mess with the drivetrain on the Busa. That's the only reason why it continued to run. That there is why you buy good drill bits.
It's looking good, Brady. It's looking really good.
It's looking real good. Well, too good.
So Brady just whipped this up. It looks so good, just eyeballing it. But let's measure with the calipers. 21 mils. 21. Off a couple thousandths of a mil. Nice job, Brady.
Certified laser eye.
How does it feel suffering from excellence? Let's get this on and then weld the engine up.
The sprocket worked great, but that does not work great. So the solution to this small problem is clearancing.
It's very simple.
We're gonna do some minor clearancing. Oh, dude, I just rattled my cage.
It spins now. It spins. It's really bad.
She got a little wobble. Something's bad.
Something's really bad.
I'm gonna blame it on your axle fab.
Well, you know what they say. Cross that bridge when you burn it. How am I gonna register this at the DMV?
Idaho Classic. Ready to rip.
I think it's gonna set a land speed record.
Oh, this wobbly thing.
Brady and I, we knocked out the sprocket mount. Looking good. Time to tackle the engine mount. So I've gone through a couple iterations of these cardboard engine mounts. Don't really have any fancy tools, so we're using CAD, cardboard aided design. Looks pretty good. Time to make these out of metal and then weld them in. Once we get the motor completed, we have a lot more work, but we're getting closer to testing this thing out. Check this thing out, it's looking good. Axle's all done, engine cradle is in. We've got our chain adjuster right here, pretty slick. This is where the front of the buggy is gonna mount up here with the leaf springs. Don't have steering figured out. I think for now, it's probably just gonna be rope steering like a horse. A little sketchy, I don't know, we'll see how that works. All we have to add to the chassis is wheel mounts. This is our back one, big dog. I've got an idea, it's really sketchy. This whole thing's sketchy though. So we're just gonna go with it. Basically, 2 aluminum plates sandwiched together with bolts going through them, and that's gonna connect it to this. So let's cut some aluminum. Time to turn this into a circle.
That first one, time to make 3 more of these.
We've got our spacers. Time to drill a lot of holes through these so we can bolt them all together. Wheel mounts are looking pretty good. Check this out. They fit perfectly. Now I need to take this and weld it to the aluminum hub so they are one. I'm a questionable welder. This is a very important part, so hopefully this goes well. I just learned how to aluminum weld a couple months ago.
You'll be going 60 and find out how good of a welder you are.
Well, we'll see. I think I'm pretty good.
I hope so.
I'm not good. Everyone in the comments are gonna be like, oh my gosh, he's terrible. We're gonna join these two pieces of metal. We're gonna glue them together with this. We are looking good. So I welded this to this and then it's bolted through the wheel. I really don't know how strong this design is. If you guys have a better idea, please comment below.
Oh yeah, there it goes.
Ta-da! Okay, now it's time to go get the buggy. Put it on top. Then we're gonna be driving this thing. Imagine the places we can take this. Anywhere. We can take it to Alaska.
What are you doing?
We can take it anywhere.
We?
So I'm drilling this hole for the gas tank, and I just missed where the hole is supposed to be. After fixing my gas tank mistake, it was time to install the wiring very roughly. Before we can start this puppy, have to weld in radiator mounts and then get the radiators installed. So I just hold down this button, should fire up. Let's go test it. I think I've got the steering. Let's see how this works. Hope this goes good. This is just a test. This thing's sketchy. Oh no. What have I made? Dang. Wow, that was not a good first test ride. I almost took out my neighbor's tree.
The gear ratio is a little off, fortunately.
Yeah, the gear ratio is way bad. I don't have any brakes or steering. The rope does not work for steering. We've got some serious work to do to this. Good news, for the 2 seconds it was feeling good before it started veering into the neighbor's house. It felt great. I need to change the gearing and we definitely need brakes, so let's change the gearing first. Here's our old sprocket. It's big, it's a 14 tooth. Here's our new one. This is the smallest one I could buy. This is an 11 tooth. It's gonna have about a 30% reduction in gearing. So the engine's gonna be going at a similar RPM, but the wheels will be spinning slower So hopefully with this change, we'll be able to drive this puppy. Let's get this on, then steering, and we're going for another test drive. So now the chain is super loose, so we need to shorten it. Let's try out the new gearing, see if it made a difference. Oh yeah. Do you think we could get it to do a burnout?
Oh, for sure.
Alright, gearing is a success. Time for steering and gas and brake. I know this looks like complete junk, but it should work pretty good. So this is gas, this is brake, and then this is gonna be steering. I'm gonna put this together and it'll make a lot more sense once it's installed. Time to weld these onto the main frame. Brady, you're up.
No idea what I'm doing. Never TIG welded. Well, I have once.
Can I show him what you welded before this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Brady welded that.
First TIG welding experience ever. Now we're going in for number 2. Give me that thing.
And both are on very important parts.
Put me on it.
You look like you know what you're doing.
No idea. I don't know that it's going to look good, but I think it might hold.
Wow. That's really good.
If you close your eyes hard enough.
Hopefully this time I won't crash into the neighbor's yard. So now we need to bolt this down and then figure out the steering. We're making good progress. We've got a steering wheel. Kinda steers. Yeesh. I'm wearing a helmet this time. The gas pedal's hooked up. Still don't have brakes. That's why I'm wearing a helmet. The battery's dead. Maybe that's the buggy gods telling me to put brakes on it. Believe it or not, I'm gonna put brakes on it right now. This thing's too dangerous to drive without brakes. I'm gonna mount the brakes directly to the axle since it is solid and it connects both wheels. Sweet, looks pretty good. Let's bleed some brakes. After bleeding the brakes, it was time to give the steering a big upgrade. It's time. So the steering is in. This is very similar to how it was steered when a horse would be connected to it, just reversed with pulleys. This was my buddy Brady's idea. I think it should work pretty good. So I just pull on these and in theory it will steer. So we've got steering, we have a brake, and we have a gas pedal. That means it's time to see if this contraption even works.
I like the green gas pedal and the red brake.
Nice touch.
Nice visual touch.
So I don't get them confused. Also, the garage has turned into a disaster. I should clean this up before we test, but I'm not going to.
Don't put that in. Can you turn the wheels just like that?
I can't. But I'll only need to turn them when I'm moving, so that's not necessarily a bad sign. You know what's not safe? This buggy. You know what is safe? Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe. That's why I'm excited to announce today's video sponsor is Simply Safe. Simply Safe's advanced home security system is designed with cutting-edge technology and is powered by 24/7 professional monitoring. Within 5 seconds of receiving an alarm on this unit, they can put eyes on the scene and convey critical details to 911 like, hey, someone just crashed a super powerful antique buggy into the living room and they are going to need an ambulance. Which hopefully does not happen to me. One of the reasons I love SimpliSafe is because I can check my cameras from wherever I'm at. And with the recent launch of Active Guard Outdoor Protection, SimpliSafe can actually help stop crime before it happens. The new Active Guard system uses advanced AI and live monitoring agents to detect suspicious activity as soon as someone steps foot on your property. Agents can then intervene instantly by speaking to the intruder or activating spotlights and sirens, or even calling the police. Unlike traditional security systems, SimpliSafe has no long-term contracts, no hidden fees, and their professional monitoring plans are less than $1 a day. Right now, SimpliSafe is offering their steepest discounts of the year, a full 60% off your new home security system. Save 60% on your SimpliSafe security system when you sign up for a select professional monitoring plan, and get your first month free. Visit simplisafe.com/Matt Spears to customize yours. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. This deal won't last long, so head to simplisafe.com/Matt Spears to claim that offer today. That link is also in the description below. Thank you so much, SimpliSafe, for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to the buggy build. So before we go on the open roads, I just need to make sure I can go in a parking lot so I don't hit somebody. Also, I need to get a helmet.
These people are like, I'm out of here.
The gearing is way too high. I let go of the clutch and I was going like 30 miles an hour. And the brakes were not working as good as I was hoping they would work. Oh my goodness, okay. Let's try that one again.
So fast.
This is sick! By far the scariest thing I've ever driven. Man,
What's happening?
this thing's dangerous. Something bad just happened to the engine. Maybe it's out of gas. I've got go-go juice in here, so we'll see if this will start it. Oh, we're bone dry. That's probably a good thing that we ran out of gas, because I was just gonna keep trying to drive it. This thing is so stinking dangerous. I need to change the gearing. The steering worked pretty good once I got going. It's just the speed is so fast until it won't stall out. As soon as I'm going that fast, it's too dangerous. It's probably 30 miles an hour. Also, I forgot it's eagle season here. So everyone and their mom is down here looking at eagles. That's why there's so many cars. I thought there was gonna be nobody. And they're all down here with binoculars looking at birds. So we're gonna have to find a different spot for next test. We'll see you guys back in the shop. We need to change the gearing and then hopefully finally drive this thing. That was sick. That was a big win.
That was big.
That was a big win.
You were moving.
Yeah. And the wheels didn't fall off.
They looked like they were gonna.
Back in the workshop, it's time to make some big changes to the drivetrain. We're making huge progress on the buggy. So I'm building a jack shaft for it. So this is our big sprocket. This is gonna go to our primary gear on our engine. And then I've got this little sprocket on here. This is a 13 tooth, and this is gonna drive the wheels. With our old gearing, it was a 3-to-1 gear ratio. So at 1,000 RPMs, according to the internet, it would go about 35 miles an hour, which not good. It was so scary to drive. So what this jack shaft is gonna allow us to do is gear way down. This jack shaft is 4-ish to 1 gearing, so combined it's 13 to 1 gearing instead of 3 to 1. So at 1,000 RPMs, we should be going about 9 miles per hour. So let's button up this jack shaft, and then we've got something pretty bad going on with this wheel. So once we finish this, I'll show you guys what's going on with the wheel. Jack shaft is complete. Check this out. So we have an 11 tooth coming from the engine. It's going back to this 51 tooth. And then this 51 tooth is connected to a 13 tooth that is welded to this back jack shaft axle. And then that 13 tooth goes to a 37 tooth that's attached to the main axle. So when the wheels are just barely moving, the front sprocket is spinning super fast. So see how fast the front sprocket's going and the back wheels are barely moving? That's the gear reduction working. I'm not sure how durable the system is gonna be. I have no idea. We are just gonna have to abuse it and see if it holds up. Final thing we need to do, this back wheel. See that? That is not good. So the bolts are loose in there. Let's see. And let's get some Loctite. Solid. Doing a pre-ride check. Steering looks good. The front wheels are tight. This back wheel, it tightened up quite nice. Check that out. Remember how much play there was in it? Very little play now. Final step. We need to put on our warning sign. Hopefully if we do have an encounter with the law, they think it's as funny as we do. We're just gonna zip tie this on for now. I don't know what kind of rights this sign grants us, but it's gotta be good for something.
I think those are for non-motorized horse-drawn carriages.
Well, that makes the buggy look even cooler. What? That's super cool. Let's go get after it.
Such a wide turn.
Put on my hazard.
Dude, how sweet was that? That thing's awesome. Oh, it's leaking fuel. That's not good. Do you see all the fuel? Here. It's dumping fuel all over the engine. So we need to fix that. I can't tell if it's the fuel line or the actual throttle. Got an assortment of tools back here.
And a fire extinguisher.
I've learned my lesson. When you build sketchy things, always have a fire extinguisher with you. That's a pretty serious leak.
I don't know how you're not freezing right now.
I'm nervous, I'm freaking out. This thing's terrifying to drive. Let's see this. Hopefully it'll drive nice now, because it was so lurchy. Like a Bronco.
That's pretty slick. So how are we gonna fill this thing up?
Removable seat. Put the flap up right there.
And the Amish hooked you up.
Right? How sick is that?
I love it so much.
It's maiden voyage.
Yeah, it's its first drive.
Haven't caused an accident yet, so.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we can make it to Harper Motorsports.
Are you gonna put this up for sale?
See if they'll consign it for me.
Yeah. Should be pretty easy to place a value on it. I think they'd be more likely to pay you to take it out of the parking lot.
No! Dude, imagine Harper Motorsports, they put this right in the front of the building. Draw so many people in.
It definitely would do that.
All right, let's see if we can make it there. It's probably 5 miles away. 3
Yeah.
5 miles, something like that. Let's just stay in the neighborhoods because I don't want to cause an accident.
Are you in second gear?
I'm still in first gear right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna learn first gear before I go into any other gears.
I think that's the most logical thing you've said about this entire build so far.
All right, let's do it. That did not last long.
What happened?
That thing was ripping. So these axles, they're live axles, and they have keys on them, and the sprockets go onto the key, and that locks the axle to the sprocket. And I snapped the key on that last little So check this out. This is all working, but then now this sprocket is just spinning on the axle. I'll start it up. It for sure would wheelie. Axle's not turning. All right, we're gonna take this back to the workshop, weld it up together, and then we're gonna be right back out here. All right, so here's what we got going on. This is the old key. Destroyed, mangled, not good. This is the new key. This is what they're supposed to look like. So this locks into the axle and keeps the sprocket from doing what this did. So I'm gonna weld this in. Hopefully that'll be stronger. Time will tell. Thing's making a lot of power.
I'm glad the wheels didn't shear off. That's what I was worried about, was the wood spokes.
Wow, we haven't driven it that far, so I don't want to tempt fate too much.
Foreshadowing.
This thing grips. Made it even worse. Kidding me? thing sucks.
20 seconds prior, this thing rips.
Never lets me down.
What if you were to take this to like an Amish?
Farmer's market?
Yes.
Yes.
Would they be excited? Would...
Yeah, dude, the Amish are the coolest people ever.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, they'd be so into it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't think they'd drive it. They might.
iPhone's a good welding mask, right?
Let's go see if we can get people to race us.
You get them till you run out of first gear.
True. I'm pretty glad I only have first gear right now. Because I know myself, second, third, fourth. It's so dangerous with the steering.
If you had the ability, you would have ripped fourth gear wide open.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm a throttle addict.
How's it looking?
I think it's really happy.
It'd be nice to have, you know, just a team of elves just...
Working on all my stuff.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be sweet? This stuff takes so long to do for me. I think other people can do it quick, but this stuff takes me a long time. This build, holy moly, I'm like 2 weeks behind on it.
I don't know why it took you so long. There's like 15 of these builds on the forums
Right?
already.
I can just copy and paste someone else's build.
Exactly. Like this whole gear reduction thing going from... How big are these wheels?
42.
Instead of a 19 on a dirt bike?
Let's go cruise this to Harper's. To the Harper Motorsports. I think we should be good. Everything moves together now. Oh, that's so cool. Bring these with us.
Do you think this thing could wheelie though?
It could.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you jumped on it, things would probably break, but if they didn't, it would do a wheelie.
Does it actually have traction?
Yeah. Also, maybe show them this little guy right down here. A lot of you are gonna know what this does, but I'm not gonna tell you.
I have a fan idea.
All right, let's go. Let's take 2.
Again?
Just as I was trying to get some money for this thing, I broke it. Oh, crap. Harper Motorsports is literally this building. I went to drive around to the front and I gave it gas and brake at the same time and snapped it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Dang it. So where I welded it, it stayed on and it just snapped everything else off. Dang it.
That's brutal.
We were this close. Oh man, maybe it'll move a little bit.
It's worth a shot.
It was doing so good, I was calling. What is this? Came to trade this puppy in. You made it? What the hell is even that?
You have a title for it?
I got a title.
I'm so confused what I'm looking at. How did you come up with this? Do you know if frame's ever been tampered with?
It was got frame damage.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Clutch here, start button, kill switch, tether.
Yep.
Tether, of course.
Yeah, you need the tether.
I didn't say hooked up, but you have one.
Yeah, you got a tether.
Brake, gas.
Yep. Gas, brake.
This reminds me of like the old flying tubes that people died on, where you had to steer the wheels in the air. That's so crazy. You're like a magician. Why does it just feel natural? Yo! This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Tether work? Wow.
I think it's gonna wheelie once I get it to stop breaking the drive shaft.
Yeah, I don't know if you like gotta heat up the wood though for the wheels.
To strengthen it.
Yeah. This is so cool. How many hours do you have in this, Matt?
Hundreds.
Hundreds?
Hundreds of hours. Which it probably shouldn't have taken me as long as it did.
That's wild.
I put this on Facebook Marketplace. What price does this sell at?
Dude, that's so hard. I think it's one of a kind, so you create your own price.
Is it 500 bucks?
No, way more.
You think so?
Way more, if it drives.
Yeah.
I think you gotta let someone at least test drive it.
Maybe don't.
Maybe don't. Maybe
You have the title
6,900.
for it?
I got a title.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to do a little research.
It's got a towing package.
I saw that. Honestly, if you put this thing up for trade, you'd get the craziest trades ever. You would honestly probably get a couple goats, like milking goats. Like the Amish would trade you 2 to 4 goats. Fresh baked bread, some goats. You might even get banana bread.
Maybe handmade shop.
Yeah.
We've transported back to the workshop. So check out what I've got. 3 bolts welded onto a plate. And now I'm gonna cut this out into a key. And this is gonna be our new key. We keep breaking the keys that I have. So we need to make one stronger. Hopefully this metal is a lot stronger. It should be. I don't know what the keys are made out of. Some sort of Chinesium. Okay, I broke all the keys, so I don't have a key to show you. But yeah, they're just made out of sketchy metal. This is real American metal. I don't know if it's American, but this is real metal. These should hold up. So I'm just touching them up with a file, and then I'm gonna weld it onto the axle. Plus, we've got our next project at Harper Motorsports. It just got delivered. So I'm quite excited about that. I'm definitely going to show you guys in this video. So when we go back over there with the new key and it's running, we're going to show you guys the next project. It's insane. It's just finished up the new keyway. It looks awesome. And this one welded so much better to the axle. So I am hopeful that this is going to hold up. Let's go head to Harper Motorsports. See if we can convince one of them to drive it. Load up, and then we'll see you there. All right, we got the buggy. We made it back to Harper Motorsports. Check out what just got delivered. So this is the next project.
What did you bring?
Dude, I fixed it so you can drive it. You want to drive it?
I want to drive it.
Okay.
Does it have brakes?
Yeah. Yeah.
What like brakes, are they like wood pads? Are they plywood pads?
When you pull this one, it'll bring that wheel forward so you go right.
I'm not doing much right now.
It works when you're going.
Oh boy.
It doesn't steer.
It works. You gotta pull on him.
Pull hard?
Yeah, you gotta pull hard. Let's get you onto the main road. You dropped one. Pull. It's going. It's going.
Oh my god, that's the hardest thing you've ever driven. Alright, I got the reins.
You got this. I wasn't recording, but Jared went into the bushes.
Now we're trying to get restarted here. It's ripping me out of the buggy here. Oh god, this bike goes so sharp. Ah! I got some sores on my fingers now from pulling so hard. This is wild. Now we're sailing.
Jump in the throttle.
I want it. What do I have to do to get this now?
You just gotta build one.
I like buying stuff built, not building stuff. I'm not you. All right, Matt, this is your first test when she actually is ready to rip.
I wanna see if it'll wheelie.
Wheelie? Whoa! He stalled it. Rookie move. What just happened?
I think we just broke something.
We broke it.
Uh-oh, we're in gear. What?
Did I just break the new keyway I just made? I don't have any more keyways. Let's go look at the new project.
Yeah.
This is very exciting.
Hey, it's rolling nice. Is it still neutral or what's going on here?
It's not a neutral, unfortunately. See that?
Oh.
Dang!
You just welded that on?
I just made that. Let's go see this new bike.
Dude!
Hey, you know what the best part is?
What?
There's no hazard riding.
Yes.
It's got good juju.
Oh my goodness. This thing's not in that bad a shape. I mean, the forks did break.
It's not that bad though.
It's not bad.
Look, the motor's solid. Are you gonna
What? Oh my goodness. The frame's a little bit broken. That's okay. Oh, all this is in one piece? What? What more could you want?
I mean, that's basically what the boost is like every time you ride it.
Yeah.
We're looking at the newest project. So this is a 2024 Ducati V4. It was in a bit of an accident, as you can see. It looks a lot worse than I think it actually is. So 215 horsepower, like 430 pounds. So it's gonna be everything the Busa was, but better, with more power and lighter. It's gonna be epic. Thank you guys for making this stuff possible. I am very excited to build this. If you guys want side-by-sides, boats, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, any power sports, look up Harper Motorsports. They ship nationwide. They sell a bunch of awesome stuff and they're great to work with. We'll see you in the next video.